All right, here we go. I've been working on taking this bike home for quite a while now. I ended up finding it, and the last owner of this bike, the guy that I got it from, he ended up getting it from the original family, and he was a motorcycle guy, and he really just did an awesome job preserving this one. 20 years ago, so many people would have found this bike and they would have restored it, and that's why we don't really have a ton of these left today. You know, they made a lot of them, but there's not a lot that are so original today. This one's been off the road in 73. You know, we just had a restoration craze of guys wanting to do their thing with these, which, hey, I understand. I get it. That's cool. What I look for is the original bikes. These are the bikes that I buy if possible, which is pretty rare for me. But I don't sell bikes. I generally don't sell bikes like this. I just keep these for myself because this is what I really love. This is really the reason why I do it. So after some back and forth for a while, they decided to sell it, and here it is at my place. So there's a ton of crazy details on this thing. There's a lot of nice correct stuff. I don't know if the long muffler is correct for 56. I could be totally wrong, and I know that's pretty basic. I was really happy to get a bike with an original Y pipe. This is my first big twin Harley Davidson I ever got with the Y pipe still on it. That's always gone. I've never had these before. You can see the finned exhaust clamps. I've only ever seen one other set. My buddy Wayne in Pennsylvania had that. And while there's a lot of accessories on this bike, and they did put a lot of crazy custom stuff on it, most of it is stuff that can be rectified if you want to. The only thing is they had this fuel gauge. This is an early Harley petcock. This is an early Harley petcock. They use these for like JDs and up. It's not supposed to fit in here. It's not supposed to be here, so that needs to be rectified. The other crazy thing is this was part of a fuel gauge right here. You can see this cap, they like brazed, soldered this in. This cap had a fuel gauge in it. Pretty crazy. Love these. Nation built caps. Tanks are clean. That's always a huge plus. Tank shift knob. This is at 40. I think this starts in 47. It's an accessory tank shift knob, and they hooked it up so it's a steering dampener. All this crazy stuff. Nuts. The wild thing about this is so many guys that dressed up their bike back in the day would have gone to like the hardware store. I believe, and I got to do a little more research, but it has so many of these acorn nuts right here. It's a pretty rare item today, if it is what I think it is, and I believe it's the same acorn nut that they use on the saddlebags. This is factory Harley Davidson for sure. I think he went to the Harley shop or whatever, the dealer, and said, hey, order me 100 acorn nuts. I'm just gonna load my bike up with original Harley acorn nuts, which is pretty cool because if you're looking for those original acorn nuts for your bike like I was for my 52, you know that's a pretty hard little item to find. It's not easy. So I'll probably harvest some off this bike for my other bikes because those little acorn nuts are not easy. I never had this piece before either. I've only had 1 or 2 opportunities to buy one. Front brake cooling ring. Pretty cool. You know, I'm really not an accessory guy. I like bikes raw. I like them just, you know, basic, you can appreciate. But all this stuff was done back in the day. There's certainly something to be said for that. I can't wait to get this on the lift. Start working on it. You know, this is the kind of thing I would never restore this motorcycle. It's gonna get minimal changes, but you know I'm gonna ride it for sure. This is definitely, you know, it's exactly what we look for. for me. So I wanted to share it on my channel and show. I don't think this is the original speedometer, but how crazy would that be if it was? Look at that. 600 miles. I don't think it is the original one. This is also crazy. I've never seen these. He probably just made these up. I don't know. I've never seen that before with this little, it's like a Springer ball piece in the sidecar loop. What's the other side? Never seen that before. And then there's obviously added stuff like this thing. Choke. How do they do it? Yeah, it's just like a normal choke. Just added that knob on. Pretty crazy. I already checked the toolbox. It was just classic, just a rag and a master link, but this was pretty cool. You know a bike's been sitting a long time when this is in the saddlebag. Pretty neat. I wish I had history on the guy. I don't have any. Respectfully put it back in its place. So that's it. That's a bike. I just brought this home yesterday. I'm so grateful this worked out. You know, I'm a young guy doing this. I based my entire life around getting involved with old motorcycles. So to actually find bikes is like the reward at the end of doing this for years, because it can be grueling, and I based my whole lifestyle around this. So check back on the page. We're gonna be working on the 47. We're going to Daytona, going to Ole, going all the meets. I'm gonna put some more little videos out. I want to put more wrenching, and I still want to do it basically once a week videos. I haven't been on it super hard, but I want to get an event or a bike or something every week, so stay tuned.